Hello. We are back with our next class. We are taking Brandon Sanderson's writing lectures. So I'm going to let my friends introduce themselves really quick for anybody who doesn't know, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing, how we're going to run it, and then we'll hop right in so we can get started on this lesson. So Esther, you want to take it away and we'll swing it around.
I am Esther I'm a Puerto Rican writer aspiring to be a hybrid author. I do have a YouTube channel under the same name where I mostly do streams on Friday, productivity and writing streams. And I do take the last Friday of each month to do like a monthly planning stream. I am being lovingly convinced by some of my friends to make me make a series about newsletters because there's a lot of people being overwhelmed, and I have been, at least my friends know that I have tried a bunch of different things. They're like, you may or may not have a thing or two to say. So that may come to the channel, may have some collabs trying to cook up for that too. So, stay for the streams. Come for the stream and stay for the chaos. That's a great way to sell the channel. Becca.
Hello, my name is Becca Smith, and I am also I also have a YouTube channel, and I am an indie author and soon to be whatever I can't say the word. I don't even know the word. Traditionally published author with the thriller with my fellow. Oh wait, I point the wrong way. With my fellow. Hello, thriller girl. So I'm really excited about that. That the three of us are going to be doing the first three thrillers for Inimitable Books. So I have to go first though. And what, Chandra, when is your release?
I'm right after you.
Okay, you're right after me. Okay.
I have actually dubbed us. I'm very excited to soft launch this, but I have dubbed us the Thrilling 3.
Oh,
That's so
my God.
So yes, I'm very,
For anyone
very
who
excited.
doesn't know, Becca, Chandra, and Kate
Oh yes,
through Inimitable Books, which Simon and Schuster distributes their books. So
So it's going to be, I think we're to February, March, and April.
Yes,
I think that's right. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, so I'm Chandra Arthur, one of the Thrilling 3.
Oh God, I love
And yeah, so we're very excited, and of course, yay, study hall.
Yes. And you're here on my channel. I'm Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, all over the internet. So I stream, I write, I do art, I do the things. So yeah, it's so much fun working with Inimitable Books. They're awesome to work with. So yay, I'm so excited for you guys. So let's talk about what we're doing here. So this lecture today is Brandon Sanderson's Laws of Magic. It is lecture number 7. It is linked in the description box, and it is linked pinned in the chat. The way that we're running it is we want you to go over to Brandon Sanderson's channel to watch the video. I am not playing the video here. That is not the purpose of what we're doing. It is not for me to be resharing the video. We are just doing the study session to keep each other accountable. So we are going to have a timer on the screen to let you know at regular speed where we are in the video. You feel free to watch the video at 1.25, 1.5 if you need to. But that way, when you come back, you'll see where we're at. Or if you've got to take a potty break or a snack break, you can come back and see where we're at. Also, if you can't play both videos at the same time, feel free to click off of us, go watch the video, and then meet us back here for the study session discussions. If you're able to do both, feel free to take your notes and leave us some notes in the comments. We love that because sometimes you guys will catch things that I don't catch. Esther be catching stuff, and sometimes we're all thinking on the same wavelength when we hear something. we'll type it in and we're like, yes, I got that. So it's fun. We of course a lot of are we all taking notes? So I've got my handy dandy notebook here. So I will be taking notes. And if I remember, I'll also put notes in. We're ready. We are ready. I will also put note in the comment whenever I can remember. Sometimes all I do in the comment section is put the timestamp and what it was because it's too long to like actually try to type it out and write it out and be paying attention. So I'll make a note at timestamp whatever it is so I can know to go back. And I like to catch other people because, like I said, sometimes you guys will catch things that I didn't catch, and so it's in the chat. So when we go back and want to rewatch or go over some of the things, some of our thoughts, because a lot of times we do catch some will catch things that we didn't catch. So it's awesome to have that to go back to. So I'm having fun with these study sessions. How's everybody doing with the study sessions so far? And then we'll get started.
I love
Liking them?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Good.
I'm really excited about this one.
Like always, I do watch them prior. I'm like the only one who does.
So you're ready.
Because just my brain needs time to get it. But I am looking forward because this feels like a really cool refresher. Because I remember years ago when he first did a blog post about the laws of magic, his laws of magic. I remember reading it over and over and over again.
Right.
And I was like, oh right, this kind of like there's something in my brain that kind of like feels like it remembers.
Yeah, I do remember this subject being one of my favorites because I've listened to previous lectures. It's more like I listened to like podcasts, like I'm doing stuff around and then I like would put it on. So this is the first time I'm like sitting down and taking notes with it. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'm gonna grab the timer, which I already have it ready. So I just need to share it. And so now is a good time, everybody, to get your video pulled up. And we don't skip the part where, because he does a little introduction first. Don't skip it. It's all part of the timer. The timer is only marking the minute. It's not doing the seconds. It's fine, So just so you know, if you're like, it's not moving, it's moving. It's good. All right. So is everybody ready?
Yes.
Ready.
I'm ready. All right. Where's the timer now? There it is. I had to find the actual timer. All right. So in 3, 2, 1. See you guys back at the end of the lecture. Here we go. Okay, has everybody finished the lecture?
This is Brandon Sanderson's How to Write.
Oh, hold on. Slow down, Brandon. It rolled right into the next one. I have the playlist up. All right. So, what do we think of Brandon Sanderson's laws? Poor guy, his voice was struggling there a few times.
No, I felt bonded with him, man. We were both coughing at the same time. It was great.
I'm gonna have to go back through this. There were sometimes I was just frantically writing, and then I was like, you know what, just write down the timestamp. It's fine.
You know how many times I did that? It was crazy. I was like, you know what? I've got even down to the last one. I'm like, yep, 112.00. Yeah, 34.10, 57.50. Yeah, I did that so many times. I'm just like, okay, here we go.
I really liked. I liked the fact that he had that there was space for soft systems and hard systems, because I think I feel like, especially in the AuthorTube community, we've gotten so focused on hard systems that, like, when you have a soft system, if you're writing horror or whatever, that's kind of key to, like, for me, like, like when I'm doing dream diaries, or even the one that I'm currently doing, like, it's key to make it a soft system. It's not magic, but it's like the paranormal psychic, like what can happen in the psychic realm kind of thing. Dreams and seeing things and ghosts and stuff like that. And you don't want there to be rules, because that's what makes it so, well, hopefully makes it scary, because you're just like, oh, we don't know what this person is capable of, or even what they can do. And so I think the only reason I'm bringing that up is because one of my betas says we need rules, and I was all like, there aren't. And so the lecture actually made me feel good, because I was like, okay, I'm not, because I was part of me like, should I make rules? Like, the whole point is that there are no rules, and then, but maybe people are going to want rules. And then watching that, I was all like, okay, there are softs. And then he literally mentioned in horror film, movies. I always put movies in horror books and thriller books. It's sometimes better to have a soft system. So just on a personal level, that made me feel.
Yeah, I felt that.
And the paranormal also, because you're like, there's some like basic rules to like vampires and werewolves and witches and things like that, but there's a very small set of rules. And even that, if you're creating your own set of species within those, the rules are going to change.
Yeah, and like, he also mentioned when he first taught the lecture how it worked, because a lot of the because they were all like, wait, you'd need hard rules, what? And they, how he's like, I'll do it. And it's so funny because my Wish series is set in modern time, so it's a little bit fantasy paranormal, but it's all in the background. The regular people don't know that there's magic in the world. So it's that, even I have my two main characters that are like the little matchmaker fairies. They can just do things and nobody knows how or why. And I want that to be accepted or acceptable. However, in my actual fantasy series, which is the past of this, it's more of an epic fantasy, so there will be some more harder rules, but we still don't get to know everything, because they don't know everything, because they're actually living through it, the way that the world works. But I just thought that was interesting, how my epic fantasy, that's the history of what's happened, before the modern world, has a harder system, where this one does get to be whimsical and kind of cutesy, and little matchmakers, twinkling their fingers and doing their little thing.
That's also because the characters don't need to know that. That's one of the reasons it works. And that's one of the things he said, is like it's what your reader needs to know, is what the reader needs to feel. That's when you decide if this is going to be a hard rules for your magic or a soft one.
Right.
So I like that he drew that direct line. I did make a note. the whole point of having the mystery in that sense, the soft magic system, is that it creates a loss of control.
Right, exactly.
And if you over explain, it's like, well, that's not so scary because now we can figure out, we can logic our way through this.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And you're creating a system where they can't logic their way through it. But I also liked how it was, yeah, you can have a hard magic system, but a soft magic character, so you don't know what their full capability is. They
Yeah.
might not choose to reveal that, even if they know what their capabilities are. They might just not tell anybody because they don't have to.
Yeah.
And if they're not the main character, you would have no way of knowing that. So I think we really see a good example of that with Gandalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just not gonna please everybody because there are gonna be people that don't like that. And then there are gonna be people that like love it. So it's just like you were saying when on his first, thing where he sat down, he's all like, there are hard rules, and everyone's like, what? Because it's literally like in their minds, they're like, no, like why would you ever have a hard
Take
system?
the mystery out of things.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then now that we've seen it more in fiction, and like obviously I own every Sanderson novel, I do love the hard system. And
Yeah.
I do love like what he said about it having flaws and limitations, and like because you can't just endlessly burn metal, which is what I think, when he was comparing it to Magneto, to me the biggest difference between his books and Magneto's is that Magneto is just an innate power that he can control metal. Whereas in Sanderson's, it's just they literally eat the metal and burn it, and once that runs out, they're done. You can't control that metal anymore. And I
It
like,
has limitations.
yeah, exactly. And it's like it is an innate power to us, because some people can do it and some people can't, but it still has those limitations. So I appreciate both, because I do love Magneto.
Yeah.
There was something else not related to craft so much on the writing side, but on the business side and practical side, there was a couple of times, and he's done this before, but where he called out Twilight for being as successful as it is, and there was some kind of like poo-pooing in the crowd, but he's like,
It is.
it is
Those sales
successful,
don't lie. Sales
and
don't
that
lie.
is not up
Movies
for
don't lie.
debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated
Yeah.
that point of like you don't have to like it, but you cannot argue whether or not it's successful. It's been successful.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I love that.
I also liked the when he mentioned specifically his agent, the role his agent played in
Yes.
advocating for him
Advocating.
with the cover. I
Mhm.
thought that was really where he emphasized the importance of the cover and the cover artist, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yep.
And having the advocate to go back and redo that part, I thought that was really good. And then the last one, because I am just a huge fan of The Name of the Wind. When people were talking, when they were like, and he was like, "Don't laugh."
Yes.
Just
He's working on it. He's
mhm,
trying. And
yeah,
it's and not only that he's like, don't laugh, and he immediately said he's trying. He is
Yep.
trying.
yeah.
It's like, and that's the thing that it's rough to see a full room of writers starting to mock and starting to shit on a fellow writer. Because at
Someone
the end
they're
of the day,
aspiring to be
whether
like.
Yeah.
yeah, whether he is published or not, he is a fellow writer. And he's going through the same struggles that all that room of writers are going to. Whether you have 2 books or 100 books out, you go through the same struggles because writing, at the end of the day, it will never be easy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You
But
find
Yep.
it was
ways to
also
make it great,
it
but it's
was
never easy.
a just kind of a very quick lesson on the power of like using your voice when you are in a position of
Yes.
power.
Mhm.
And he shut that down immediately. And
Yep.
I super respect that.
I love that
Yep.
too.
Like that.
Yeah, definitely. As someone who has seen previous lessons, I am enjoying the variety of examples. He does sticks with a couple that he's going over and over, but every once in a while he throws a new one here or there. A lot of the times are like the Twilight example. I'm like, you're bringing Twilight? like out of every book. But it's a good example to be like a seemingly stupid story works because everything you think it is not about that. You're just too high in your horse to realize that it's just a teenage romance book that works because it does what is it toxic? Yeah, there's a lot of books that are toxic, but it
It's like a
works.
magic show though, right?
And
You the person's waving their hands around. That's not the magic, and then all of a sudden there's a rabbit in a hat on the other side of the
yeah,
stage. Like that's the distraction that keeps you engaged in the book, but the love story is the story.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what the reader wanted. That's what the reader got, and they were ready for the next book. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
Which is a good example when he brought that uh, Bella was unconscious for a part of the last book, which I almost forgot because
So
that
I
section is just like, yeah, just tying a subplot that it just is just there for tension, and that's the purpose of it. Like, and in my head, I was like, I am sure everyone else was in the same like line that we're just like, are they finally going to get together? Are gonna stick together? And some people will be like, is she gonna be turned in this book? And that's what people
Yeah.
are thinking. They're not thinking that she's unconscious for part of it. No, let's get the ball rolling so we can see them together.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yep.
No, it really did. I remember the like, oh my gosh, like she's not gonna make it. Like so wrapped up in that. Like
Yeah.
I read
And
them
also
all
over the
in
thought in
that
my
full.
head.
section was and also that section was for Edward as a character, not for her. Because he's been also like, oh, I cannot even have a single taste or smell of her blah 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 blah. But then he has to do it if he wants her to be alive. Spoiler alert, I don't know how old the books are, so
It's been a while.
Yeah.
it's part of his character arc to have to do that, and he being the person to suck all of the venom out of her blood, and that's why we don't see it, but we sort of know that that's why he did, because of course she's unconscious. We're there, but it is for his character, not for her.
Yeah. I also liked he gives a Star Trek example when your magic system is very, very complicated and you have a hard magic system, but maybe you don't want the reader to know exactly what's happening, or it's too complicated. It's gonna start feeling like you're, just dumping if you try to explain this. Have your Data and Gordy start to explain it, and then your Captain Picard's like, just do the thing.
Just make it happen.
Stop explaining. Just do the thing.
To that,
And
it
that
was
leaves them.
hilarious. To that, it
Yeah.
was hilarious. Every time he will talk about Lord of the Rings, but he will say the Star Trek character's name for the same actor, and I'm like, dude, I see it because I don't even remember his name either.
I
I
do
see it.
I did also just really enjoy how much you could see his team being like
Okay.
that made me
Especially
chuckle.
if he was like about to go down the road of starting to insult it. He's all like, "But we love it, and it's good, and it's the one of my favorites, and it's like I think what did he say? The Lord of the Rings. It's the best trilogy of all time. You know, the movies are like okay, backpedaling, like
Yeah.
But
But
also when
I
they're
mean,
just redirecting him to like,
yeah.
hey,
But
we're actually here to like not just talk about books and movies that you love. We also have like
that is
a
so hard,
schedule.
though.
It
That is so
is.
hard. You bring up one little thing about, but then something else pops in your head about it, and then the next thing you know, you're talking about that, and it's just like so easy, so easy.
D-
I feel
Feel
for him.
very like, yeah, no, I relate with it so much. I'm like, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh
That's
wait,
good.
did we just go on a tangent? Because I was just listening to this, like, yeah, I'm into what you're talking about. So yeah, I totally get that. I have so many notes.
The other
I
note
do
that
like
I
that he mentions that the world building has to be in service of the story.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I was
It's not the
like,
most important thing.
I'm like, as much as I will love to spend time creating a fabulous world, it the reader doesn't care. Like, it is the same thing where you're talking about like cities that exist. People just want to know the really cool spots. They don't want to know the nitty gritty of the city. They don't want to know this, like how many streets are, if they don't have this or that. They just want to know the needle. They just want to know the bean. They just want to know specific things of a place. And because it serves, to sell the city, so you get tourists. It's the same thing with world building. You just need to know those really cool poignant things that serve the story and the character.
It
Yep.
also doesn't discourage having that fully like ironed out for yourself, but just to be careful about how much you put
Mm-hmm.
in. I really liked
Don't make your book an encyclopedia. Don't do that.
yeah. Well,
You
I
can have
really
your
liked what he
encyclopedia. That's
said
fine.
about like discovering the power, the character discovering the power they didn't know they had, of like making sure you're sprinkling that in. But then at the end, he also talked about making your character's ability and the magic system kind of feed off of each other so that their limitations and their flaws and the limitations of the magic system and its flaws complement each other to support the story, so you're not
Mm-hmm.
fighting them the whole time that you're writing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that the characters can be more interesting sometimes when it's the thing that they can't do,
Yeah.
versus,
Mm-hmm.
oh, look at all the things that you can't. And it's like, oh, great, they can do everything. But like he said, I think he used Superman for that example.
Yeah.
We are more interested when all of a sudden there's someone stronger than Superman. What? Or,
Yeah.
oh no, there's the kryptonite. He's not going to be, how is he going to do the thing if he doesn't have his strength? Because there's
I
kryptonite there.
realize every single episode of Smallville, either someone is stronger than him or some kryptonite. I'm all like,
Oh,
oops, I'm
Yeah.
tough. I was rewatching it and I was like, and then when he was saying that, I was like, oh, that's like every episode.
because that's the only thing, otherwise he can do everything.
I
Because
know.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. So
or
funny.
not
I
knowing
mean,
how to
that's why
navigate love.
Yeah.
that's why he has, as a character, he has such a strong moral compass, because
Mhm.
that's a self-imposed limitation a lot of times. Because it's just like, that's such a rigid rule for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the
Mhm.
case of like Smallville, he doesn't even know it yet. Like he didn't even know that that's what was making him weak, the kryptonite. So
Mm-hmm.
you have that element too, which is helpful when it's like a origin story as opposed to already
Yeah.
being established Superman. He already knows his flaws. He knows what can take him down and like that kind of stuff too. So there's so many different variations of Superman.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to wrap up this evening, but I'm glad to be back and
Yeah,
be
me
picking up at a
too.
good spot. But I definitely feel like I've got to go back on this lecture, and there's so much to get out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Thank you, Chandra. We will see you. No, not in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks it's going to be Labor Day. So we have got 4 weeks
Oh, okay. So we're not going to.
before we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it still in the calendar because I wasn't sure, but
On the 15th of September, I think
okay.
it is.
Because I will be out of town on the 1st.
Okay.
So I'm excited. So yeah, so we'll take the Labor Day holiday off. So we'll see you back then. Any final thoughts, Chandra, before you go? And then we'll all wrap up too.
Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway that I had was about, instead of trying to find new and exciting powers, to look at new and original limitations.
Yeah, I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Chandra, we'll see you back next month.
So
All right. All right. what are anybody else? Anything else we wanted to chat about before we do our final thoughts on this one? I love this one. I'm gonna go back over it again. I'm like, I got to take notes, and so I do have so many timestamps that I really just kind of wanted to listen to what he was saying. Esther, very smart, watched it ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be watching this one
I
again and going back and hit my highlights.
I wish he would expand on not intended, but on the third law,
Yeah.
which is expanded on world
I
domain
looked
of
at the
Donna
time.
Crane.
I did my time check, Esther, when I was like, we haven't got
because
to
he was
the third
like,
one yet.
let's talk about the second law, and I'm like, what?
I know.
I'm like, you're still asking questions.
That
What
first
about
law
the
took
third
the
law?
whole lecture pretty much. I was just like,
We
okay.
probably could do a lecture on each one of them.
Although, does he have older lectures where he goes over his laws? Maybe it's more spaced out in those. You know what I mean? Like his past lectures, like maybe he's done this lecture before.
I check it because I know one of my old accounts has one of his
Because they're on
old
somebody else's channel. Or did he finally put all of them on his channel, or are they still on the other?
No, they're old.
So they're still on the other channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the actual school or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
No,
like
it's
his
just a
assistant.
person.
Yeah, it's like an
It was a
assistant or
student.
somebody. A student?
Oh, gotcha.
Originally, it was a student.
Guys, this cough is getting out of control. I'm so sorry. I'm like every other. I get.
That's okay. We're gonna wrap it up.
Whenever I find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. It's like that stupid tickle though, and it's like the dry cough. So it's not like even when you cough, it doesn't satisfy.
It doesn't relieve. Yeah, no relief.
That's why it reminds me of the COVID cough, because that's how it was for me whenever I had COVID. It's just that dry cough that you can't control. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went to the doctor today and he said my lungs are clear and everything. So it's just
I hope it's not going to be like that every time you get a little cold, but it's going to be that I hope that's not the cough.
I know.
I know.
Because now with like what they say with long-term COVID and things like that, like, is your body just triggered now? Those I'm just like, oh my God. He said
like,
no.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, could this be like COVID coming back? And then everything. He's like, no. He's like, you took the test.
Well, at least that. So hopefully you'll get some relief from it soon. All right. Any other final thoughts? And then we'll wrap things up.
I really love this. This was a good one. I mean, they've all been good, but this one for me was like, again, on a purely like personal level, like it made me feel good because I was really kind of debating that. I was only from one person, the beta feedback, but like it was like, but somebody that I really, really like, their feedback is really important to me. So I was like, oh shoot, like, is that going to be a problem? Like, are people gonna want a hard system? But then the other people were like, when I asked them about it, I was like, was that a problem for you? And they were like, no, oh my God. Like, if you had a system, then we would already know what was going to happen. So when he said that, I was like, okay, so that, in horror, suspense, like things like that, like it's good. I don't know why, but it just made me feel like
validation. You are a great writer, Becca.
I don't mean, how you just start to your whole brain unravels and you just start to like doubt everything.
Oh no, I'm going to like hyper focus on this one person's feedback because it's an important thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so are we good? Are we good, guys? All right. So we'll see you guys next month on, what do we say, September 14th? Is that our date?
15th.
September 15th. All right, we'll be doing lecture number 8. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know. So what is it?
I'm scrolling down. How to world build on Earth? Question mark? No, that's nope. That's lecture number 9 because it already started playing.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
So next one is lecture number 8. The tools to make your world better. All right. Awesome. Okay, so that'll be lecture number 8 on the 15th. So looking forward to it, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I can't wait to come back for more. I'm really enjoying this.
Me too.
So very grateful for Brandon and the team for putting these up for us to watch and learn. All right, guys, I'm just looking for my video because everything looks different. So I can close out. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.